Hi, this is Jillian with another episode of SEO Easy Peasy, because marketing your small business with SEO should be easy. Today we're going to talk about a really cool tool called the Website Grader. And this is brought to you by the folks at HubSpot. And if you don't know HubSpot, HubSpot is a great marketing place. They have awesome blog articles and tips and tricks and all sorts of great things for marketing online businesses. But most importantly, they have a CRM system that's free, and it's just incredible. So highly recommend HubSpot. Great resource for inbound marketing. But anyways, they have this one tool on their website called the Website Grader, which everybody can use. And you just go in and can type in your website, and you get a feel for sort of how your website is doing in terms of SEO. And it's very light. It's a good place to start because you just get a little bit of information. And I like it. I like to use it a lot. You don't get to print out or anything. It's just a quick snapshot. But let's go in and just check it out. So first of all, here's my website. So we're going to go ahead and get the URL from my website. And I'm going to go ahead and, yes, be brave enough to put my own website through the grader. So I'll go ahead and punch it in. And there you go. It loads and loads and this cute little things across the screen. So I'm really happy because I got a pretty good score. I got 94 here, which is great. So the Website Grader scores you out of a possible score of 100. I think they say that they don't actually give anybody 100 perfect score. I think there's always probably something wrong. So you're kind of being scored at 1 to 99. So getting a 94 is not too bad. So it's really scoring your website on 3 issues. The first one, actually 4 issues. The first one is performance, how fast your website is. It also does mobile. Is your website mobile friendly? It also checks your SEO. So again, that's how your website's going to be found in the Google engines and other search engines. And then the last thing is security, which is it a safe environment for your customers to come in and read and purchase and do all sorts of things. So it's checking you on all 4 of those things. So let's go through. So the first thing it does is it kind of makes a little screenshot of the top of your website screen, and it's everything that's above the fold. That's sort of geek speak for sort of the top of the page, and you want it to look right. So if you run your website through here and maybe you don't get a picture, you just get something crazy looking, then you might have some issues right off the pot. So you want to just kind of compare that it does in fact work and look exactly the way that you have gone ahead and how your website looks. So the first thing that it grades you on is your performance, which is usually to do with optimizing your website for speed. Because if your website is slow, away they'll go. People don't want to see a slow website anymore. It's like it's got to be lightning fast. And right here, it tells me 3 different things. Talks to me about the page size, the page requests, and the page speed. So the page size is going to be, you got lots of images and lots of script and all sorts of different things. So you want to keep these numbers low. They're recommending that you keep below 3 megabytes. So having only 996 is pretty good. So I'm happy with that. Page requests. So that's kind of like the back and forth talk between your web page and the people loading it and the servers and all those good little things. So again, you want to make sure that this is a minimal thing. So you want that to be a good thing. I'm kind of, I guess, yellow. So it's kind of a warning. So it's kind of like traffic lights, like green is good. Yellow is a warning. Red's not good. So we don't see any red today. So yellow means probably there's some room for improvement here, and they're spelling it right out for me. And then also page speed. So mine came in at 3.5 seconds. They say ideally you're trying to get to 3. I'm so happy I'm at 3.5. So I'm happy with that. That's good. So not too bad. Now, the nice thing that I like about the HubSpot is this is a great place for newbies that are just trying to learn SEO, because you'll notice under every section, there's a read more, and these read mores will take you off site to the HubSpot blog where they have an article about each and everything that you're reading about. So I like that they're giving you that information, but not cluttering up the screen. So it's a good learning tool, not just testing your website, but understanding what are your test results. So I really do think this is a nice one for newbies to use. So then here's some just extra things with performance. Browser caching looks like that works good. And of course, talks about page redirects, so if you got different pages that you're redirecting to, compression, and then render blocking. And render blocking, I don't know if I've had anybody's website ever come through that didn't have an issue with render blocking. And this is essentially like JavaScript and CSS. And a lot of times this is not us doing it. It's, if we're on a WordPress site, a lot of times it's just the way that our WordPress themes are written. So a lot of time we can't really control that. I did go ahead and read the article, and I just totally did not know how to do that. But I noticed pretty much everybody seems to have an issue with that. So I didn't feel too bad. So then the next section, because we talked about performance, the next section is mobile, and it's looking to see if your website is mobile friendly. So you want to make sure that it's responsive, and responsive means that your website is smart enough to display depending upon what device somebody is viewing it with. So whether you're talking about a big computer or a laptop or an iPad, or you're talking about a mobile phone, that's what responsive is. You want your website to be able to go and resize properly and always look good on all these different devices. And then the viewpoint is, kind of think about whether your images can scale down and scale up. I often talk about, like, if you just have your phone, can you see a website this way and that way? And a lot of times, that viewports aren't good with a website. If you sit there kind of like pinching and zooming and you can't read anything on the screen, that's when you have some issues with the viewpoint. But I got 30 out of 30, so that's pretty good. And then it goes through and looks at your SEO. And that's looking at the titles of your page, your meta descriptions. That's sort of like your little blurb that goes in the Google search results, kind of explaining what your page is about or your blog post is about, your headings, and then the sitemap, which is the map of your website. Is Google able to, Google and the other search engines, are they able to see your website and able to crawl through and know where everything is supposed to go? So the sitemap's always that little bit of instructions of kind of saying, okay, here's all the posts, here's all the pages, just a nice map of your website. And then the last thing is security. And so this is always looking for that HTTPS versus HTTP. And if you always look right up here in the corner, you'll see there's a little padlock, and that makes you realize you're on a safe and secure website. So you have to make sure that that's up, and I do have that for my website, and it really affects your experience. Even if you don't sell anything on your website, you should have an SSL certificate. It's a ranking factor for Google, and it just makes a safer experience. Nobody wants to go to a website that says, this one can't be trusted. So don't want to give people any excuses to leave your page. So SSL certificates are good. And then what I like at the very bottom, HubSpot gives me a little shopping list of everything that I should be doing to fix up my website. So I think it's nice. You have those like little takeaways at the end of what I need to do. So that is my website in a nutshell. And I think I'll just show you, I'll show you another website. I'm going to go ahead and just show you maybe two. So let's go ahead, and I'm getting tons and tons of stuff right now about Marie Forleo. It's that time of year when B School is open, and I think Marie Forleo is just awesome. And she has like the most beautiful website in the world. You come here and you just look at her website, and it's just full of all sorts of wonderful things. It's like, if I had a developer who would come and make a whole website for me, I would want Marie Forleo's website, because it is just a beautiful website. But the question is, let's look behind the curtain and kind of see how Marie's website is doing. So I'm going to go ahead and take it back to Website Grader. So I'm going to go ahead, and if I click here, that takes me home again, and I can put in another website. And just an interesting side note, this does ask for your email, but you don't have to put that in. That's totally optional. So if you don't want to get email from HubSpot, you can go ahead and leave that blank. And I must say that even if you get on their email list, it's always very, very informative. And I highly recommend HubSpot as a great resource for marketing. So your choice, email or not email. So we'll go ahead and test Marie Forleo's website, see how it's doing. Now, here we go. So even a person with a huge team has a few issues. So that's kind of interesting. So we get the overall score. She gets an 89. And it's nice because it's actually going through and saying, where is the problem? So obviously she gets a 30 out of 30 for mobile, 30 out of 30 for SEO, 10 out of 10 for security. Her issue is performance. And here's what's interesting. Okay, so do you notice what's missing here? If we go back and take a look at Marie's website, it's Marie. She's like a little video that kind of comes in. And when you're on the website grader, that's obviously not looking right. So I think that's probably what's going on here, is that video is probably taking up a lot of resources. So when we look at her website, we see her performance scores, and we see, first of all, page size is really, really big. Page requests, there's a lot of page requests, because when you have a beautiful website like that, that's got videos and things flashing in and flashing out and text and this and that and everything else, that comes with a cost. And the cost is, it's a lot of page requests going back and forth, and it's red, and we never want to see red in the HubSpot grader. It's telling us there's a little bit of a problem. So here's where you'd want to do that read more and go see and figure out what is it that's kind of, hosing it up a little bit. And then page speed, she's doing good, 3.3. So, just goes to show you want to kind of get to that 3 if possible. So that's really good. And then, these are all good. See what I mean about the render blocking? I don't know anybody who I put through that didn't have some sort of issue. So that could just be a whole part of just WordPress themes. And here's how it looks on mobile. So of course she's got good scores there, and she's got good scores for her SEO, and she's got 10 out of 10 for security. So if we looked back at Marie Forleo's website, we do see that she's got the padlock. So she does have a safe website. So let's go ahead and do one last one. So I'm going to do Neil Patel. Neil Patel is a really awesome guy to follow for SEO. He has a lot of great information. I really like Neil. He just has a lot of wonderful stuff he just gives away for free. So I'm going to go ahead and test him, because logic would say that a top SEO person would have a top SEO website. So let's just check it out for sure. So we'll go ahead and put Neil through. He's pretty darn awesome. So he's got 97. And I told you probably website grader tops out at 99. So Neil's awesome. So mobile's 30 out of 30. SEO is 30 out of 30. And security is 10 out of 10. And whoops, I don't know why that went flying down like that. Performance is an issue. So let's have a look, because Neil's pretty darn, there's not a lot of stuff going on here. There's a little bit of him on his website, and, but it's a pretty simple website. So kind of surprised that they're saying there would be an issue with the performance. So if we go through, let's go and have a look and see what it is. So first of all, page size, amazingly small. So he really knows what he's doing. This is why you want to learn from him. He's got some great stuff. And then page requests, this is really lickety split. You can see a lot difference between 28 and I think what Marie had 100 and something. And then page speed. Oh, he's amazing. 0.6 seconds. So that is an incredible page speed. But look, it's that darn render blocking. So I guess that even affects a guru like Neil Patel. So it can affect any of us. So here we go. We look at his mobile. His mobile is good. And of course, his security is good as well. And he's got everything. So basically, they're only saying the only thing is this render blocking. So I think that's just the way of how none of us are going to get the perfect score on HubSpot. So anyways, there we go. HubSpot, it's a great tool with this website grader. It's totally free. You can put in as many as you want. Highly encourage you to check it out, run your own website through, go through, hit the read mores, learn a little bit about SEO, and see where your website stands. So if you found this video valuable, I hope that you will give it a thumbs up and leave us a note in the comments about how maybe you could use the website grader or what you learned when you put your own website through. That would be kind of fun for us to know what kind of things this uncovered for you. And we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss the next episode of SEO Easy Peasy. See ya.